Good morning, everybody. My name's Gwyn Winfield. I'm the editor of CBRNE World magazine, and I just wanted to talk to you for a couple of minutes, and I'd like to be able to thank the organisers for giving me this opportunity. So I wanted to look at CBRN beasts. I realised to a lot of you, CBRN seems something sort of very distant, very remote, and hopefully after this sort of about 5 minutes, we can see that perhaps it isn't too much. However, as is very popular at the moment, let's do a definition of CBRN via AI. The piece that I would like to be able to sort of pull out of this is that these are threats that can cause widespread harm. It's as good a definition as any, as often with AI, but I think that it doesn't really encompass what CBRN is and what people think about it. So when you hear chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear weapons, what do you tend to think about? Well, odds are good that it's probably somebody in these pictures. It's a state threat that, unless you're involved with irritating some of the kinds of people you see in these sort of images, that it's really not going to be your kind of problem. Again, because of the way that politics have been over the past few years, CBRNE is often thought of as weapons of mass destruction. And not only do we get it through current events, we also get it through popular media. There's very rare that the latest sort of existential threat doesn't involve zombies or a biohazard or something else that has been stolen by terrorists and is about to end the world. We're cultured to be able to think about these weapons as something major and something that has had a large amount of time and money spent on it to create it. And what happens when we do see or encounter? And what happens when we encounter one of these? Well, what public media, or popular media rather, would like us to believe is that we're going to panic. But actually, we encounter these kinds of substances and these kind of scenarios more often than you can imagine. So actually, people have a response to them. But could that response be better? Absolutely. So let's run through a couple of examples. So, I mean, when you think about what makes a CBRN attack, it's going to be mass. It's going to be the large amount of people involved. We're going to see hundreds dead, thousands injured, TV coverage of it all the time. Well, maybe not. So if you look at this one from China, where a depressed individual got access to a kindergarten and started throwing caustic soda around. I mean, again, 51 children hurt, 3 teachers hurt. That's quite a lot of individuals, but nobody died from it. And it's also part of a long history of attacks on schools in China. So again, outside of that region of China, perhaps this doesn't actually get a lot of airplay. And again, if we look at another example in San Jose, an individual committed chemical suicide, 1 dead, 6 hospitalized, and a large number with minor symptoms. So again, the smell of rotten eggs meant it was hydrogen cyanide. And chemical suicides are seen around the world quite frequently now. So again, it's not necessarily a CBRN attack, but it is an attack involving substances that are hazardous to life. So if it isn't the mass of people that have been affected, perhaps a CBRN attack is all about the toxicity. So again, if we look at one that happened very close to where we are in the UK, we had 2 spies that were targeted, or 1 spy and his daughter that were targeted by Putin using quote unquote the latest generation of chemical weapon. We don't know whether it's the latest generation of chemical weapon. It's just more advanced than some of the older ones that we've got. And hardly anybody was affected by that. It cost the UK millions, and only sort of 4 hospitalized and 1 died. So again, it's a very small event. It doesn't necessarily involve a huge amount of people, yet the substance is one of the most toxic known to man. And again, if we look at something else, slightly sort of further away from me, but in Japan, a disgruntled worker sprayed a whole load of food with a organophosphate called malathion. Some of you may know it. And again, the true number of that was unknown. It was a small dose of a highly toxic substance, but he never expected people to eat the food. So again, both very toxic substances. Are they CBRN attacks? Well, arguably you could say one is, because it involves fourth generation agents, and the government said it was a CBRN attack. Whereas another one where far more were affected, which is perhaps not considered to be one. So perhaps it's the type of person, right? So we've seen the leaders that were in the previous slide. We hear a lot about fundamentalist terrorists, those sort of individuals who sort of sit before flags and cry doom on the world. Well, maybe, maybe not. So Betty Miller is one of my favorite. It's bad to have favorites, but one of my favorite stories about an individual who was clinically depressed. She tried to be able to kill herself previously and had failed at it. So what she wanted to be able to do is to be able to poison herself. She understood enough about ricin and trying to be able to create it, to be able to make the poison. However, she didn't know whether she had enough to be able to kill herself, what a toxic dose would be. So she decided that the only way she could actually find this out was to be able to poison other individuals in her care home. And she did that on 2 occasions. And again, nobody died. It got passed off as sort of a bad illness that some of these people had, because she hadn't actually done enough of a toxic dose. And she was only discovered when she admitted it to her psychologist that she was feeling a bit depressed because she hadn't managed to kill herself yet. And he asked how. But again, and white supremacists in the UK, white supremacists seem to love ricin. It's the poster child of these kinds of individuals. But again, to be able to look at a different type of actor, a criminal just interested in being able to make money out of supermarkets, spike baby food with ethylene glycol. And again, you see adulteration of foodstuffs for financial gain quite frequently. So fundamentally, these are all CBRN incidents. They're just on a spectrum. We shouldn't be precious about saying that only the very apex of the pyramid is CBRN. CBRN trickles down through all of these things. It's not about who does it. It's not about how many people get hurt. It's not about sort of what the agent is and how toxic it is. So a friend of mine, a Polish firefighter, talks about soft CBRN or hard hazmat, trying to be able to look at those sort of blurred lines between them. And I think that's important. I think that we can't, within the CBRN community, be precious about it. There will be some incidents where you can say, well, it's not quite hazmat. And if it's not quite hazmat, it's probably going to be CBRN. So I say, I'm the editor of the magazine. We look at this all the time. So the magazine comes out every other month. News is updated daily. If you're interested in learning more, go to the website. You can fill in your details. It's free to receive the online version. If you want to be able to receive the print version, or we also have a directory. If you're interested in buying suits or detectors or decontamination equipment, then there's another subscriber level that you can click on to do that. We also have our large conference. We'll be in Charleston in November. Love to see you there. And you'll find us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. We're all over one form of social media or another. That's it from me. If you want to be able to get in touch, I'd love to be able to hear from you. And again, I'd like to thank the organisers very much and hope you have a great conference.
That's very kind. Again, as I said in my presentation, I think if you only look at the top end of these kinds of incidents as being CBRN, you're missing a lot of the trends. You're missing a lot of the issues. So my advice to you would be certainly to include some of CBRN in your in any exercises that you run. There's plenty of poisoning. There's plenty of small-scale incidents that happen, so that if you do have something that is that actually happens, then at least you know the people to talk to, whether it's departments of environmental protection, departments of health, or other government departments, whether local or national, that you might well need to call on. The more you practice these things, the easier it gets. Thank you.